they're two leaders. You know, Trey Burke has been around this league for a long time. Boban has been around the league for a long time. It's been successful on all levels. Seth Curry had a huge impact on the Portland Trailblazers a couple years ago, and obviously his brother to Steph Curry. So, like, these guys come in and they do their job, right? Dorian Finney-Smith, he's been a starter for a couple years, but like Curry, he's not afraid of this moment. And what I'm seeing today is the guard play. Patrick Beverley, we knew the impact he had, but we didn't know it was this much because the guards went off today between Trey Burke, Curry, and Doncic, who doesn't really fit as a guard, but he is we're just eating today.
Yeah, the bench was a plus 10 collectively versus the Clippers, but you see some of those plus minus numbers for the individuals, including a plus 30 for Seth Curry. That's hard to do in an NBA game, especially when you're a reserve only playing 26 minutes. Doncic had the foul trouble. Otherwise, he wreaked havoc again, 28, 8, and 7. And if you were watching the TNT broadcast, you heard he's now scored more points in his first two NBA playoff games than anybody in league history.
He is amazing, and we are watching a future MVP. The plays he makes, his ability to be patient regardless of who's guarding him, controlling the pace of the game, hitting guys on time and on target. I think the Dallas Mavericks are going to be a force to be reckoned with for a long time. Look at this. He's patient. And he's 6'7", 6'8", big body. So all of a sudden he's waiting for somebody to commit to him and dumps it off to Urang, which I think is one of the funniest nicknames ever. So for me, and even this right here, it's like he's still patient. And for a big guy, he's already collapsed the defense and puts another thing on dime. So he's spoon-feeding his team, which gives them confidence, and they're dangerous. And they're all of them have the green light to shoot the three. And then as 6'8", 6'9", you're shooting this in traffic, in the lane. He's a stud. He's an absolute stud. We talk about superstars. He's something different on another planet.
He said he played terrible, his words, after the 42-point playoff debut on Monday because the Mavericks lost. He was happier tonight after the win, and he spoke with Jared Greenberg.
You have surpassed the likes of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the most points in NBA history over your first two career playoff games. When you hear that, what do you think about?
I mean, we got to win. That's all I care about, you know. I mean, that's great stats, you know, but we got to win. I knew we could get a win. I know we are able to fight these guys, and, you know, we show up today.
Speaking of fight, we were wondering if you were going to fight your coach a couple of times tonight because of the foul trouble. You didn't seem happy to be coming out of the game. How frustrating was it that you were only able to play 28 minutes tonight?
I mean, it was frustrating, you know. I just want to get out there, help my team. You know, I was pissed. I did some unnecessary things, you know, I shouldn't do. But, you know, we got to win. That's all that matters. And, you know, a lot of guys showed up. I know we played great defense, and that's what we have to do.
All right, well, coming up after us is Inside the NBA, and we know that you last night were tweeting about the show. So assuming you're going to rush back to your hotel room to watch Ernie, Charles, Shaq, and Kenny, what should they be saying about Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks tonight?
I mean, they should be saying we got a chance, you know, in this first round. You know, a lot of people, I say count us sign, you know. I read a lot of people didn't count us in, but I know they should be saying, you know, we got a chance. And the thing about Dallas, you know, we're going to give everything 100%. We're going to leave the heart on the court. And I think that's the point for us.
That's interesting. You might have just taken Charles' spot. He might not have to do the show.
No. He's better.
And Shaq wants everybody to call Boban Urang. That's what he wants from the Adams family. You got to call him Urang from now on. Luka, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, first of all, something tells me Luka's not familiar with the Adams family. Secondly,
no.
I think it turns out he may actually be second all-time in terms of points for his first two postseason games. Nonetheless, historically great here to start so far. I do want to get into the Clippers here before we start hearing from the coaches and players from this game. Paul George never in rhythm. He was foul trouble, scoreless in the first half. Wasn't his night. 4 of 17 from the field, 14 and 10. Kawhi had 35. But as a team, I don't know, there just wasn't a lot of fluidity for this Clipper team offensively. And on the defensive end, where they really should be elite, they had no answers for this machine of a Mavericks offense.
Yeah, I think they rely on their one-on-one defense so much, but the only person that really goes one-on-one is Luka, and he's too big and strong for most of them, right? He's too fast for the big guys. He's too strong for the small guys. He's a problem for everybody. But I think in the Mavericks system, they move and cut. And everybody is a threat, right? Especially with their three-pointers. They have guys who are skilled, who can pass, dribble, shoot, which makes them hard to guard. I think they had the best offense in the NBA this year. But on the Clippers side, for me, they just are still trying to figure themselves out. All these guys are either one-on-one guys who are used to getting a certain amount of shots. They're still trying to figure themselves out. Like, they are the most talented team. I think they're one of the deepest team. But for me, there's nobody to just get them something easy. Lou Williams, who averaged 20, is out there getting 5 or 6 assists. But, like, I wouldn't expect him to do that unless he was getting a double team. So for me, it's been pretty crazy.
He had 7 assists tonight. He also had 5 turnovers to go with his 23 points. Our friend Baron Davis had this observation about the Clippers, that they lack a playmaker, plenty of shot makers. Someone has to make plays for everyone, too much one-on-one. You concur?
Oh, 1,000%. And I think we look at Patrick Beverley, and we just think of the defense, but he passes off a lot of shots to get other guys involved and early. And so I don't know if it's a chemistry thing or just trying to get, obviously during the year they didn't play a lot together. And even now, Montrez is coming back. He's trying to get in shape. Once he gets in shape, he's going to be a huge impact for them. But, that rhythm between PG and Kawhi and all these guys, it just seems a little off right now. But I'm not worried about them. I think they're going to win the series, but I think it's going to be tougher than people assumed.
Well, and that Mavericks offense is impressive. Here's the architect, Rick Carlisle.
And, it's a group that's had some time together during the year, during some stretches, particularly when Luka was out. So they know how to play together. And the other thing was, we were scoring, but we were also scrappy defensively. And, I thought DeLon Wright's game tonight was really huge. He didn't put up big scoring numbers, but he made a lot of influential plays defensively with deflections. Making things happen offensively. So, happy for him. He really didn't get into it in the first game, but his minutes tonight were really important to us.
And now Mark how do you look at Luka's performance when accounting for his improvement in turnovers, but also looking at the control?
Look, it's tough. I mean, I left him in with 4 in the third quarter for 6 minutes. And then, just had to get him out at that point. Had to try to ride it out through the quarter. Then he gets the 5th foul early in the 4th, and they had to get him out again. You know what? He stayed ready. He was frustrated with the fouls, but when he came back in the last 4.5 minutes, he made a huge play going to the basket. Defensively he was solid, and on the floor he's developing into such a great leader. So, it's not all about the triple doubles. It's also about how great players like him give their teammates confidence. And how they direct traffic and keep people into the game.
Hey, Eddie, you're up.
Yeah, Rick, even after, a real nice regular season, did you feel like a game like tonight answers a lot of questions about your team? I mean, we fought through the Luka fouls and a lot of other things, and the way you won this game with grit and heart.
Well, this is how we're going to have to win games. Our depth is going to be a big part of it. Once again, Trey Burke played an enormous role in this game. With his aggression, scoring the ball. He was scrappy defensively, as was Wright, and So yeah, I mean, look, going from 21 turnovers to 9 against these guys is a very significant improvement. We did a better job of keeping them off the foul line in the second half. There's a lot of basic execution things that we did really well to win the game. And do we need to win? Absolutely. I'll agree with that.
Okay, Tim McMahon.
Rick, how much significance do you put on Luka and KP and some of these other guys getting that first playoff win under their belt?
I think it's really important. Winning in the playoffs is difficult. you know, you've got to deal with a lot of things coming at you. You got to deal with great players that are coming at you 100 miles an hour, and the whistle's blowing. You got to deal with situations where, you know, it's tough because you're getting decent looks, but they're not going in. But you got to try to stay together. You got to deal with offense-defense substitutions at the end of the game, which no players like. And the whole notion, you know, of playoff basketball, that it's just, you know, everybody combined working to give each other energy and to do one little thing at a time as you go through 48 minutes and thousands of events. You know, that's what this is all about. You know, individual statistics really are out the window because it's very binary. You know, it's about winning and losing. And tonight, you know, our guys showed a lot of poise throughout the game. You know, the Clippers are super talented, very aggressive, very physical, and you know, it's we did a good job holding up under a lot of pressure, and that was great to see.
Okay, two more. Saad, go ahead.
Hey Rick, you've talked for the past month and a half about becoming a better defensive team. How do you think that you guys did today, and specifically, how were you able to limit Paul George to the numbers that you were able to do that today?
Well, he's a priority for us. You know, a lot of his misses came in the frantic moments of the fourth quarter where they were down and had to get points on the board. So I don't make a lot of his shooting statistics. But look, we took a step tonight in the right direction, and it's important to feel what winning feels like. But we're also up against the human nature curve, you know, which is always tough after you win a playoff game. You know, even in a situation like this where there's no fans in the building, you know, you get an exuberant feeling, and you can't let human nature get the best of you. And
Luka Doncic, 42 in his playoff debut in Game 1. Aggressive early on as Dallas took a 15-2 lead. Here comes Lou Williams. What about that one-on-one play you were talking about, Shannon?
Yeah, it's just that's just what he does. He does it on to me in a Hall of Fame level, but you can't do nothing with Urang.
Boban.
Give him that work. Oh, with the little right shoulder.
Boban will never be the most valuable player in the NBA. He may be the most loved player in the NBA.
Easily.
MLP.
That man is the salt of the earth. I've met him a couple of times. He is the nicest guy ever.
We've had him on the show a number of times. I haven't had the chance to meet him, but everybody loves him, and he's just so great when he's with you on TV. Meanwhile, back to the game. It's Luka with the pull up there, then he turns the corner. So strong, holding off defenders, getting exactly where he wants to go. 22.7 assists, 6 rebounds at the half. Dallas up by 5. Third quarter, Lou Williams to Kawhi Leonard. And then it's Paul George, scoreless in the first half, sticks with this one. And Dallas's lead is down to 2. This is part of that stretch when Luka was out of the game with foul trouble. Seth Curry hit a bunch of buckets in a row. Tim Hardaway Jr. for 3 as they increased the lead by 10 with Luka on the bench. There's Trey Burke. Quality minutes from him all night long.
Shout out to my brother, University of Michigan.
And then it's Porzingis.
No one ever wants to lose, but you know, obviously it's the playoffs, and you know, every moment is a learning moment to learn from mistakes and even learn from what you did good. So, I mean, yeah, right now it's a loss. You know, we got to get through that adversity and you know, step up for the test.
You guys, I mean, we've been saying all year that maybe you guys are the deepest team in the league. But Pat's out with the calf. How important, or how, I guess, detrimental can that be to be missing him against this team specifically with the personnel they have?
I mean, he's a very important player. You know, guarding. energy, being a point guard, calling sets, seeing what's on the floor. So, I mean, everybody plays a big role. Being in and out the lineup, it can affect the chemistry, but, we should, be a team that, a man go down, a man steps up, and, that's what we got to do.
We'll take one more from here.
Hey, Kawhi, Luka Doncic broke a record tonight. Who can carry Dallas? If there's an answer to his play?
You said he broke a record. What record?
Tonight, he can carry Dallas. Is there an answer to his play?
We just gotta, stay focused, stay locked in, know the matchups that they're going at, and just play good team defense on them. That's all you could do. He's a great player, and that's all you can do is just try to contest his shot. Don't get him easy looks.
Thanks, Kawhi.
As usual, Kawhi Leonard's not tipping his hand in terms of what's going on inside that mind of his. Clint Azubuike, who is a former NBA player, obviously, and analyst for Warriors broadcast, believes the Clippers are fortunate not to be down 0-2 if you consider what might have happened if Porzingis had stuck around. It's 1-1. Tough night for Paul George. Here he is.
Paul, earlier in the season, Kawhi said that this team was going to have to endure tough luck, arguments, aside from the wins as well. Is this one of those games you kind of just have to go through and in pursuit of a championship, you got to take these losses and just learn from them as you go on?
Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, it's a marathon. The team we're playing is not a bad team. We're playing a good team. It's a good matchup. We battled all year long, counting the regular season. So this makes no difference. We expect a tough matchup. We expect a tough challenge. But the good thing about it is we're up for the challenge.
And we have a question down the bubble.
I was going to ask if this series is actually closer than it should be, just because of who the Clippers are supposed to be. But I guess what's making this series as close as it's been?
I mean, what do you? I don't get what you're saying. Who are the Clippers supposed to be?
You guys are a title favorite. You're the deepest team in the league. You have you and Kawhi. They're 7th seed. They've never been. Their two top guys have never been in the playoffs before. You could argue that.
I mean, they're a good team. Just goes to show you the West is tough. AFC just beat the first seed yesterday. The West is tough. It's a tough conference. Any given night, any team, especially here, can win. And we've full on seen that. So it's no surprise. What you have to do is come ready to play. And tonight was their night.
Hey, Paul, I was wondering, I want to ask you two questions. One, how frustrating was it for the foul trouble to kind of take you out of your rhythm tonight? And two, the defensive struggles a little bit. Is it a schematic thing or is it more like an effort thing by you guys?
Just schematic. We'll figure it out. That's all it comes down to, is taking away what they want to get to. But we got to just do a better job of it. And it was tough. It's always tough when you pick up cheap fouls, trying to find a rhythm, trying to, give your team a boost. It is what it is. I tried to play out of it, but offensively it was a struggling night for me.
Next, take the last one from Andrew, right?
Paul, there were several times tonight where Clippers got really close to making this a game, and then Dallas went on a run and made it a double-digit lead again. Is there anything that was consistent that happened every time that allowed Dallas to kind of extend and get out of that trouble?
I thought every time we were putting possessions together, we fouled. We sent them to the line, and I thought that really was the game. We got, great stretches where we were playing good, we were cutting the lead, and then the fouling, we fouled, slowed the game down, and it was in their favor at that point.
Thanks, Paul. Have a good night.
points in his first 2 postseason games. That is more than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Chris Paul, or Julius Erving, who are next on that list. Only George Mikan in pro history, if you will, with the BAA, scored more in his first 2 games. Luka with 28, 8, and 7 assists in this game, and just 1 turnover after 11 in game 1, dodging foul trouble throughout the night. Mavericks get the win. Here are Luka's thoughts.
I know you've won big games in Europe. How does it feel to get your first NBA playoff team?
Oh, it was great. We tied the series. Like I said, when I came here, I'm way better mood today, and we just got 3 left, and I think we can fight for it.
Is this a series you guys can win?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, any series we're gonna go in. We're gonna believe that we can win for sure. If you don't believe it, you're not supposed to believe it. So we gotta believe everything.
And one more in the room here. It's Mark. What do you think it's taken to be able to play through the frustration, physicality, and foul calls, and still play the game?
I mean, it's something you get used to. I still gotta do a way better job doing that. But it's something you gotta get used to. I already experienced that in Europe. It's gonna be every game like this, and you just gotta get used to it and be okay with it.
Okay, Tim McMahon.
Luke, after you picked up your 5th foul there in the opening seconds of the 4th quarter, what was it like for you sitting there on the bench, I'm sure frustrated, but watching your teammates be able to maintain that lead?
Oh yeah, I was frustrated for like 15 seconds. Then I was focused. I was gonna get in, support my teammates. They did being there. I mean, being on a bench, it's hard for me. I want to help my team, but we won the game. Maybe if I don't pick that foul, we don't win the game, so it's okay.
Okay, next up is Todd.
Hey, Luke, then when you did come back in the game later on, how did it feel to be able to close out this game after everything you guys have went through and struggling to close out games earlier in the season?
Yeah, I think we're way more locked in. We can give up leads like that, but it was great feeling. We won the 2nd game, so we tied. It was an amazing feeling, to win a playoff game.
Okay, last one in English is Dave McMenamin.
Luka, when you look at the box score tonight and you see in the turnover category just 1, how do you feel?
That was the only thing I looked up. 1 turnover, it was great. That's what I was looking for. And I told you, it's 10 possessions more than the last game. So that's one of the reasons we won.
Okay, we'll move over to Spanish. Eugenio.
Hola Luka, felicidades por la victoria. ¿Qué se siente haber pasado a Kareem por los más puntos en los primeros 2 juegos de playoff? ¿Y qué tan importante es poder ganar un juego para empatar la serie?
Bueno, se siente bien, nada especial, pero prefiero ganar, como siempre lo digo, y me siento muy bien y todo el equipo que hemos podido empatar esta serie y creemos que podemos sorprender a mucha gente.
Okay, Ferdinand.
Saludos, Luka, desde Puerto Rico. ¿Cuán importante es para mandar a Mavericks
¿Puedo repetir, por favor? ¿Más alto?
¿Cuán importante es Marjanovic y Trey Burke en la rotación de los Dallas Mavericks?
Muy importante. Si ya lo habéis visto el partido, lo habéis visto qué importantes son. Los dos pueden jugar increíble. Los dos nos dan mucho, pero hay también otros jugadores que nos dan mucho.
Okay, Luka, we'll let you go. Thank you.
It's late, sir.
Luka Doncic speaks at least 3 languages. He also runs the best offense in NBA history statistically, Channing.
You know what? For me, if you look at everybody out here, each one of these players for the Mavericks can shoot, dribble, pass. They're all skilled. They're spreading the Clippers out. And when you have a guy who's 7'2", He's a huge target, and that's shooting the way that Porzingis is. You're not blocking that. No matter, you see how high Paul George tried to jump to block it, but it's too late. A guy that's making a huge impact is Kleber, man. He is rolling hard. He finishes. He's making good decisions. And Trey Burke here, an NBA vet, makes the right pass to a Curry. So that can't be bad at all, especially a corner three. So they drive and kick like the best of them. And it's exciting to watch. And I think it's a tale of two styles of basketball, where the Clippers want to play one-on-one, break you down and score and create double teams, where the Dallas Mavericks are passing, moving, cutting, screening, and relying a lot of their offense on Luka Doncic. But when he goes out, they do have guys and vets that know how to play, even though they are in a reduced role here on the Mavericks, but they embrace that role, and everyone does it to a T, and tonight has worked out for them.
Obviously, the personnel is different, and there's some tweaks here, but it reminds you a little bit of the way the Warriors played when they got really, really good with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Everybody out there could read and react and pass and shoot. Skilled offensive players. It's a good formula.
So hard to guard. And defensively, they make up for each other's shortcomings, right? So if somebody's small, they'll always go double team to make sure Curry doesn't get posted up. And they're always scrambling and switching and communicating. So it's fun to watch them. I'm excited to see what happens with this series.
They were happy to have Kristaps Porzingis in the game for full minutes tonight as well. He played 36 minutes, 23.7 boards. He is multilingual as well. We'll see how many languages he speaks in his post-game comments.
After the first game that we were right there and we can compete with, probably one of the favorites to win it all. So we came into this game ready. We jumped into the game right away, and obviously there's a lot of runs, a lot of things happening, and a lot of emotions throughout the game. But I felt like we did a pretty good job of keeping our composure throughout the game and playing our basketball. And at the end, we came up with the win.
Mark, considering how valuable Luka is to the team, what did you guys do to be able to hold the court down when he was out with his fifth foul?
Yeah, we had a lot of guys stepped up. Bowen played great. Trey was really good today. Tim, a lot of guys stepped up and really gave us a lot of energy. Dodo hit some big shots, and whenever Luka wasn't on the court, there's a lot of guys that could step up and play well and give us something. So offense is one thing, but I feel like we made a step forward defensively and in terms of our poise throughout the game, and those might be even more important than the rest of the stuff for us as a young team. I feel like we're heading in the right direction, and this was just a win to show us that we're capable of doing these things.
And one more in the bubble tonight from Mark Stein.
We were told yesterday there was a small chance that you wouldn't go today. Just how challenging is it physically after having 4 months off to have to now play every other game?
For me, actually, the 4 months off kind of helped me because I had some stuff going on throughout the season, as probably 90% of the players do. So it was good, but then coming back again, just something happened in the first game. It's my knee, and I felt it, honestly, yesterday I wasn't feeling very good. I had trouble moving around and stuff, and for me to be able to play in this game was a surprise to me, and it was a kind of it was a big surprise, honestly, and I got to thank our medical staff and my physical therapist Manolo for putting in I don't know how many hours yesterday to treat and to work and to get in the pool and this and that, and at the end I was able to play today, so I'm happy about that.
Mavericks and Blazers in their series so far. Both LA teams have suffered losses. Clippers tied up with the Mavericks. Doc Rivers weighs in on the other side.
Pick and roll coverages. What did you think of the pick and roll defense tonight?
Same thing, but really more just individual defense and pick and roll defense. I just thought they got matchups, and then by the end of the game, everybody was a matchup. They were just looking us in the eye, taking us off the dribble, playing draw and kick basketball, and they played together. They moved the ball. I thought that stood out. I think at halftime we had 7 assists. I think our starters had 2 assists at halftime. I think we ended up with 4 assists from our starters. That's not how we've played all year. And if we play like that, we can't win.
Next, we move over to Owen.
Doc, how far would you say this team is from being the defensive team that you've envisioned them being in the postseason? And also, how frustrating was it to see Paul get into foul trouble early?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, it happens. Luka got in foul trouble as well. You know, hell, they responded when Luka went out, and we really didn't respond well with PG. His third foul, he just can't get. You know, but it happens. It happens all the time, and. You know, we needed more from him offensively, but we got to get him in the right spots.
Next, we move over to Andrew Wright.
There was the stretch there in the fourth quarter when Luka goes to the bench with his fifth foul, and it seems like there was an opportunity, and yet their bench unit was able to really hold you guys off, really close.
Yeah, I just thought their bench outplayed our bench and our starters. You know, between Seth, Bobby, and Burks, I think they missed like 4 shots. Like their percentage was insane, and a lot of it was just beating us off the dribble, making plays, running pick and rolls, getting switches. Bobby played fantastic for him tonight, so you just give them credit.
And next we have Miriam.
Doc, does it, obviously this team knows how to score and knows it knows how to score, but does winning a game like this, does it bolster their confidence and make them even more dangerous potentially?
I think they were dangerous. They were pretty confident coming into it, Miriam. I mean, they showed that in game 1. We jumped on them and they came right back. So I don't think there's anybody getting more confident or less confident. I just think they're playing well. And honestly, they're playing better than us right now, and we have to pick our play up.
And we have time for one more for Dan White.
Doc, you guys used like some full court, like a full court trap type thing. You used a 1-3-1. It looked like at one point, maybe a 2-3 a little bit. Were you guys just kind of searching?
Yeah.
Or was the plan to try all that stuff?
No, but we've run it all year, Dan, and we come into the game thinking we're going to do a little bit of it. But to be honest, today we're just doing it to throw them off rhythm. They had such a great rhythm against us. Every single guy on their team had confidence with the basketball, and they attacked us. I just thought they were the more physical team. They played harder, they attacked us, and we didn't respond well.
Thanks, Doc.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, Doc Rivers is not sweating things. He's been around the block a time or two. His team tied up with the Mavericks through 2 games.